And welcome to another edition of Thoughts of the Round Table with me, Matt Rebar.
And me, Paul Laux.
And Paul and I thought it'd be fun because 'tis the season to do some Black Friday horror stories. So we're going to share some stuff that we've been digging up that we'll reminisce and celebrate. I got to say, though, I think Black Friday's become like a little less violent. I think everyone's just shopping online, so they don't really have the need to, get physical.
I over the years, Black Friday's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But I think it's time. I think it's finally dead. I think Black Friday. I actually think Black Friday's done, especially because of what the pandemic did last year. And I think they realize they're just making just as much money online with those kind of sales. So, but if it is dead, I'm gonna miss some of the crazy stories that, and every year this time of year, I just kind of get bummed out because I don't like the winter. I don't like the cold. Not really a fan of all that. But the one shining moment is always the craziness of Black Friday. And I think you'll agree to this. And sorry, I'm a little bit snuffed up, so you might hear that every once in a while. But I remember the original days of Black Friday, and it was pure absolute chaos. I remember everything opened at 6 a.m. at the same time. So you had to pick just one store to go to that you wanted to be the doorbuster at. And there was they hadn't figured out yet the security of it or how to organize people. It was just absolute mob rushing the door. Those were the best days. And can I start off the first story? Because this is a personal one.
Please do. Please give us a little taste.
I will never ever forget this. And think this is the day after Thanksgiving. You're just off, having a beautiful moment with your family, and eating dinner with them and everything. And so I went to Best Buy one year.
Okay.
And first mistake. And so they opened at 6 a.m. And so I went with my uncle and my brother. And so we got there at like 4:30, something like that. And way ahead of us, there was an old guy who had to have been in like his 60s, maybe even early 70s.
Okay.
And so they open the doors up and everybody stampedes. And this poor old dude, falls down, gets knocked over.
Oh, no.
Old guy. And I'll never, all the employees did, the Best Buy employees did, which is basically all they could do. They literally put cones around the man and just let people go. There was just an old man crumpled up on the floor, just cones around him as people were really just running around him.
That is really sad.
Ridiculous thing you've ever seen or heard.
Oh my God. It wasn't like the deals were that good where they had to do that. Like it's okay. Yeah, you're saving like $50 here, $50 there, but is it worth it?
I had someone, or I saw someone online post this and I didn't think about it. They're like, why are TVs always the big thing every year? What about your TVs you got last year? Are those not working anymore?
Well, have you seen the reports that talk about how when they produce things for Black Friday, they're actually not at a good quality. So you might be getting that, $500 TV for $250, but you're getting it almost at like a $250 cost. Basically you're
because it's always like really off-brand stuff.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about, or like the quality itself?
Well, no, I think it's just across the board. Like the quality goes down. It doesn't even matter like what the product is, but the idea is like, okay, we have this thing that we normally cost at X, we're gonna have it at Y, so we'll make it with like slightly cheaper parts or cheaper, So it's like you're paying a little bit for that price. And like what's weird though is like there's something about TVs that people just love a good price on a TV. Like that's part of the psychology behind Costco, Paul. I was reading about this. Is they have the TVs right in the front because they want the members to be like, wow, these TVs that usually cost $3,000, it's only 2.7, or, I can save $200-$300 here at Costco. And it's that psychology of like, you see instant savings, right? Even if you don't need a TV, you walk in and you're like, oh, wow, big savings. If I wanted a TV, I could have it at a cheaper price here. I could have my 80-inch TV. So I feel like that's part of the enamorment is not necessarily about items we need, but the deals. It's like, oh, well, I could get this for a cheaper price. I mean,
it's like those insane couponers. I used to love watching that show, those insane couponers, but no, it really is part of the deal. And also it's a lot of people who resell the stuff. That's been big too. People will get the TVs and then resell them for a higher price. So
that's such risky business. I couldn't do it. I feel like you're risking it. You're risking the biscuit a little bit. So not for me.
I also like there's always that one toy that all the Karen moms fight over. And I remember when I was a kid, By the way, my parents never did any of this stuff. This, they just got me for whenever. But Furbies, remember that?
Oh my God. One of the stories that I picked talked about Furbies.
Yeah. And I'll never my aunt fought to get a Furby for my cousin on Black Friday.
Mhm.
And my cousin, mind you, Furbies were the most terrifying toy ever when you really think about it. And it kept asking to be fed in the middle of the night. So she threw it out her second story window and it broke. And so like her mom fought for this Furby and it got chucked out the second story window onto the driveway.
Yeah,
But
there's like a whole section of toys like the Tamagotchi and
Tamagotchi.
Listen, House of Gucci's dropping next week, and I'm in a Gucci mood. So.
Gucci.
But there's these whole segments of pets that like, or toys, I should say, that are like living creatures and pets, and I'm like, that's not like fun for me. That would be work to keep a Tamagotchi alive.
I had one of those. I love my Tamagotchi. Now you got me saying it. Tamagotchi. I love those things, man. I did. I had the turtle one. It was fantastic.
See, that sounds like work to me. It's along the lines of those video games. You know, like those video games, they'll be like, own a pizza parlor. And like you have to like
just do a normal job.
Yeah,
like
do a normal job. Video games. Why would I play that? Like I'm currently playing Grand Theft Auto simply because I can't become a drug dealing, heist making, just pulling people over and jacking their cars person without consequences. I want to be that.
What about The Sims? You ever play The Sims?
A little bit.
Makes you antisocial because people just come to your house and knock on the door like, F these people. I don't want to talk to them.
I actually I didn't have Sims, but I had Sim City. And I liked the idea of like building like city planning. And I still do. I love city planning as a hobby.
Hold on, pause for 1 second. I gotta go grab a charger. My computer's gonna die.
You're good. Let me put in a note in this audio because otherwise I will forget.
1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back.
And we're back. Well, I don't even know what we were talking about.
Furbies, Tamagotchis.
Yeah. So like, I don't know, like the whole allure of playing a video game, playing a toy that like is work. I can't get into it. So that's just me. But
it is interesting that there's those video games that are literally just a job.
Oh my God, seriously. It's like, who enjoys this? Who's like, I gotta go to be a manager at my pizza shop on my phone game today. Like, oh, I couldn't.
It reminds me of the game Paperboy, which was awesome.
Oh, okay. That game was different. That game kind of slapped. Ready to share some horror stories? Here's one for you.
Mm-hmm.
It was the year the Xbox 360 came out. I was standing in line to get some external hard drive next to the video games, and there was an 11-ish-year-old kid, Jesus Christ, with a woman in her 60s. He was waiting for his 360 bottle. The woman before him had gotten the last one, size all around. Then the guy says, nope, one more, and begs the motion of handing it to the kid. And this guy comes out of nowhere and pushed the older woman and the kid. The kid hit his face on the edge of a video game rack, you know, the one with the metal and plastic dividers. At 19 years old, I don't know what came over me, but I instantly swung for the dude's head and caught him right in the temple, sending him into a Keurig tower in the middle of the aisle. Everyone froze, including me. Guy had dropped the 360 and got up and walked away. I slid the 360 with my foot to the kid, and he didn't say anything either. Whoa! Can you believe punching an 11-year-old kid?
I think everyone's wanted to at some point, but no one's ever done
it. Okay, just forgetting the no, Paul, come on. That's funny. That's really funny.
No, that's always annoying. And I honestly hate seeing when you see all those like videos where it just turns into fighting at these places. It makes you just really, really sad. Yeah. Though I do like when you see those compilations of the big Black Friday fights and someone puts that song, It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year, over it.
Oh, yes. I love the editing because the music sets the tone.
It bums me out though. It really does, seeing all that stuff.
Yeah. This one's kind of funny, but also kind of sad. Here's this one. I worked at security at Target for 5 years. For being a store in the rougher part of town, I don't have many horror stories. The funniest one I like to tell you is a couple years ago, I was there early doing crowd control. I would always talk to people in line and try to keep them entertained while they waited in the cold. The first couple in line had been there for about 13 or 14 hours. So when we open the store and we have deals in electronics and toys, etc., they get in line and have a shopping cart full of towels that we had on sale for $2. That's it. Just towels. They were first in line outside and waited over half a day for $2 towels. When I left after my 12-hour shift, we still had shelves full of these towels, along with tons more in the stock room. Did they like not understand like people's priorities on Black Friday?
When you're doing that, you're there for the experience. Honestly, you really are.
I don't
Or
know.
are you talking about the stores,
14.
like not knowing the people's priorities?
I don't know, man. I just feel like they don't know. I don't know.
This is funny though, because I got that same story because I see her on Reddit, and that's where I am.
No, I'm actually these are from a lot of things. I think a lot of things are from Reddit, but they're pulled on other websites. So anywho,
I
give
got
me
a great
one.
one.
Yeah, give me
I got
one.
a great one that's from the food side of this whole thing.
Ooh.
Okay, this person said I worked for 6 years at a Johnny Rockets in a mall.
Oh my god, I know
as a-
this story. Please read it.
as a server and management. We didn't open early like the rest of the stores because we are a restaurant and, well, we don't serve breakfast. People shake our gates screaming that they wanted food, or they would just what's it? Okay, so they're just getting the chairs up. I pointed them towards the food court and told them we didn't serve breakfast. A lady spit at me and told me, "I know you have bacon."
Oh my
I
god.
love it.
And I think the best part of the story is the idea that they're shaking, like they're like
This
refugees,
people
like
just
trying to get
shaking.
out of the
I
country.
know you
or,
have
like
it's an episode of The Walking
yeah.
Dead.
Or
This is
yeah, I
also-
was gonna say it reminds me of those like science fiction movies when people are like trying to escape, help us, like like in War of the Worlds when they were like on the boat and they're like, ah, like, oh my god.
Another one.
I know you have
I-
bacon.
I have witnessed two people fist fight over a toaster.
And like, here's the thing, Paul. I mean, this might have been a few years ago, but like, isn't it like $30 for like a generic toaster? Like, what else?
Dude,
like,
oddly enough, I literally just bought a toaster today for
no.
$10.
Real
$10.
okay, 10. Okay, well, I might have punched you in the face for that. I'll admit. That's a really
Why?
good deal. I'm
For
kidding.
$10?
Girl, I'm
I
kidding.
thought- no,
We've
I
got
thought
72
no, I thought-
episodes of this show.
I thought you got
kidding.
mad at me because I got such a cheap toaster. Like you're mad that
No.
I got, like,
I
a
mean,
crap
yeah,
toaster.
I'm like up all night, like, oh my god, Paul got a toaster. I hate him. No, that's
Not,
fine.
not gonna lie though, I was looking at them. There's like $60 toasters. What the hell? It's toast.
I mean, what are you trying to do with that toast? Yeah,
Who
that's
knows?
just-
You got another one?
Let me look on my list. Oh, this is good. The old lady wanted a cancer pink ribbon fabric. And sorry, I didn't want to, that gives it away. Okay. A woman was reeling a cart in the store with several large bolts of fabric in it, which she had special ordered. We put it on the cart for her so she could continue shopping. An old lady sees that this woman has all the bolts and it isn't right, and she's hogging the entire stock.
First of all,
that
I just
particular
absolutely
print.
love what they're fighting over. This
Yeah.
is the best. This is the best. Already.
The woman explains the situation and said that she actually special ordered these, and that the reason she was coming in on Black Friday to purchase them is because they were a major Black Friday promotion at 60% off. The old lady continues to yell at the poor woman. The woman very calmly tries to assure that she's not taking any of the store stock, and she makes blankets for dying women with breast cancer. She's a very sweet store regular who pays out of pocket for all the blankets. And so my store held the fabric for her until Black Friday, when she'd come in and purchase them with a coupon. The old lady doesn't get a shit. She whips out mace and tackles the woman.
Mace?
She
Oh my
maces
God.
her. Old lady gets kicked out of the store. She would come in every couple of months, give me the stink eye, and then rebelliously write down receipts for the home and food magazines so she wouldn't have to buy them, which is she'd write down the recipes from the magazines. Isn't that amazing?
Do you ever want to go Black Friday shopping just to see these things?
A
are you
little bit,
just
but I
not
don't think they
interested?
happen anymore. I mean, does this happen? Are people still fighting? And I feel like this was a
yes.
circa 2000 to 2015 situation.
No, it died 2020. No, it's been dead for the past couple years because they started
Yeah.
to figure out how to do things with like security and
Mhm.
like moving people. And then remember what they would do for a while is they'd go through people online and you'd get like a card that said,
Mhm.
okay, we have 10 cards for this TV, and the first 10 people in line would get it or stuff like that. So I miss the rough. You had to be strong. on Black Friday.
Mhm.
There was no room for the weak on Black Friday.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was ironically enough. I remember it was a novelty at this time
Okay.
for Walmart to be open 24/7. I don't remember why,
Okay.
but maybe it was just the one by me. But so it was weird to see this Walmart open 24 hours. And I remember one Black Friday, me and my mom were like, well, let's go to Walmart in the middle of the night, just see what it's like there.
Mhm.
And I remember they had to close down part of the store because someone had a gun. We're like, oh, so this is what Walmart's like in the middle of the night. But I do have a Walmart story if you're curious of that.
Yes, of course, always.
This is pretty gruesome, so get ready.
Okay, I'm buckling
That a
up.
couple years ago, when the sale started, there was a surge of people trying to get their stuff. One lady got knocked down, and her pen went straight into her neck, just missing her jugular.
Oh my God.
The effed up part is that no one tried to help her. They just walked over her bleeding to get their crappy deal items.
Wow.
Isn't that
I mean,
insane?
I'm not surprised. Or do you feel surprised?
No, absolutely not at all.
Oh my God.
When I worked at Sam's Club during the Madness one Black Friday morning, we caught a woman stuffing inside her pants frozen lobster tails. She would unpackage them and throw the trash in the stack and in the tires that were on display.
Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Like,
I worked at
why?
the grocery store. Want to hear a crazy non Black Friday story?
Of course.
I worked at a grocery store for a long time, and we caught a nun stealing a shrimp tray.
Oh no, that is so sad. She wanted shrimp and she didn't have the money for it. She was stealing it. She's a nun.
She was a nun. The bad part is she was in her like nun attire.
She was in her nun outfit. She's in her habit. Oh my God. Here's one you might like. By far the best was three grandmothers getting to a literal fist fight over the last Furby. A full-on brawl, rolling around on the floor, kicking and punching. Nobody knew what to do. It took two women and a manager to pull them apart. It was the most screwed up thing I've ever seen. Three grandmothers. That is insane.
All right, I got another Walmart. You ready for this?
I have a Walmart after you, so go first.
I worked at Walmart for 4 years and worked all Black Fridays. I've seen a woman hit another woman in the chest with those toddler car boxes you can drive in. Woman who got hit was a week or three post-op from open heart surgery.
No!
So there's lots of blood right in front of me. No idea what happened to the woman who hit her.
Oh, that's terrible. So bad. Here's this one. I worked at a Walmart supercenter that had just opened, and it was the first Black Friday sale. They had 3 police officers and 2 of the largest support managers escort a pallet of the $400 laptops out to the floor. Immediately, a crowd started forming around them. When they threw off the cardboard, it was like people transformed into animals. People climbing over one another and grabbing them from out of people's hands. There were people stealing them from other people's carts. It was crazy. They had a security detail for $400 laptops, and it wasn't enough. I can't. Oh my God.
Oh, this is a great one of an oblivious woman. I managed a Radio Shack store in a mall. An old lady came in with her walker for a new battery for her cordless phone, completely oblivious as to what day it was. She walked up to me and asked if the mall was always so busy.
I love that. This one, I don't even need to read the story. Just this line. I saw a girl get trampled over $3 DVDs. The funny thing is, okay, it's $3 DVDs. Yeah, that's so cheap. But then 2 DVDs are like no one uses DVDs anymore. Like, who's buying DVDs unless you're like collecting like a show or something?
I think people buy more DVDs than you really realize. I really do. Mm-hmm. I know people who collect like those $5 movies, in the $5 movie bins.
I'll be honest, Paul, I don't think I've bought a DVD in like 10 years.
Oh, it's probably been about that same time for me.
I know.
But I know people, obviously, if they're still making them and selling them, someone's buying them. I mean, someone is. Yeah. All right, listen to this. I watched a woman collapse into hysterics into my manager's arms because we didn't have the exact model of cooler she wanted. Thanksgiving must be a stressful time in her family.
Here's this one. On Black Friday at ASDA, which is the UK version of Walmart, there were these microwaves that were like 70% off, but the store was so busy you couldn't move. There were empty shelves all along the aisle up to where these microwaves were, and a guy laid down, army crawled along the shelves and grabbed a microwave and army crawled back with it. Literally army crawled on the shelf for Microwave.
Listen to this one. I saw an elderly woman steal an ice cream maker out of a man in a wheelchair's electric handicapped cart.
No.
He got a security guard and she flat out denied it, saying the man was using his handicap to embarrass her.
Oh my God. What was the resolution to that?
That was it. I don't know.
Oh,
That's
I
where
wonder
they
what
stopped.
happened. Okay, this one is like, I think really like the way this lady doubles down. Here we go. I was controlling part of the line since I had zero training to do anything else. I had a lady saying that she was going to faint. I knew she was lying and called my manager over so we could talk to her. He said, "Ma'am, they told me you were in need of medical assistance. I've got an ambulance on the way." She freaked out, yelling at my manager about the line being too long and how it was his fault she was feeling sick. She looked at me and said, "This is all your fault. If you would have just let me cut the line, we'd be out of this mess." The new employee's manager told the woman to leave, and if she didn't, he would call the cops. Soon enough, she did. Can you just imagine, like this lady's like, "I'm sick. Let me cut the line." They're like, "Okay, we got an ambulance for you." And she's like, "Well, no, I don't need an ambulance, but like, I'm not sick." Like, what the?
What do you think it's worse being on Black Friday? A cop or an EMT? Which one's worse?
Oh, probably the cop. I think the EMT just kind of comes in post, right? And the cop has to deal with like the on-site problems, right?
Do you think they just have like off-duty police there? Do you think they do that?
It looks
Just
like
ready
some
to
of them
go?
have. I mean, the
Especially
one they had the
Walmart.
cops with the pallet of laptops, and it still was chaos. You know,
The pallet of laptops. Just
The
think about
pallet.
the ridiculousness of that. Just a pallet of laptops.
it's
And they're
funny.
probably junky as hell.
Oh,
too.
I'm sure.
Listen to this one. This is kind of in similar vein. Sam's Club does a Black Sunday or something before the actual Black Friday for Plus members. Some dipshit 20-year-old threw food on the floor, purposely slipped in it to hurt himself, and gave himself a concussion and proceeded to puke all over the floor.
Oh God.
Since Sam's Club has cameras everywhere, he got no money when he sued.
Wow.
So he just ended up giving himself a concussion for quite literally no reason.
Wow. I got one more for you, if that's okay.
Yeah, and then I got one more, but it's
perfect.
kind of dark.
Yeah, this one is not. So that, do you want to go first? If yours is dark, this one's
I have
funny.
two. I have a light one. What do you want first? I'm gonna just wrap mine up. Do you want the light one or do you want the dark one?
Let's go dark. My light, your light. How about that?
Okay, this is my dark one. I worked at the Walmart in Green Acres Mall in Valley Stream, New York. Was working the day one of my fellow coworkers was crushed to death by the large crowd who broke the doors and gate outside.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, like, as much as we can laugh about this, some of this really, I mean, like, imagine working at that Walmart and like you know, even if it's Cheryl who you can't stand and who like steals your food in the fridge, she gets crumpled to death. I mean, that is like,
there was someone who
the...
they had this website that was called the Black Friday Death Count. No joke.
Mhm.
And it ran for a couple of years where they would like go through and see how many people actually died on Black Friday.
Oh,
but they stopped
God.
doing it because it was so depressing.
Well,
It was like in the
yeah.
20s. Like
I'm sure
20
it
something people every year.
was. I feel like for a
Ridiculous.
few years, it was like 2 or 3 people
It was
consistently.
honestly, from 2010
Let's see.
ish to 2015, 16. Those 5-6 years, man, were
Let's
chaos.
see.
Absolute
let's see.
chaos.
About the BlackFridayDeathCount.com is on.
It's
And
actually up still.
Yeah, and it says 14 deaths, 117 injuries though.
Over when?
It goes back to 2006. The last two, actually, this is really sad. There wasn't any in 2019. But 2020, 2 shot and were killed at a Northern California mall. So
Jeez.
that was very different though. I think that wasn't like a couple of customers were evacuated. The shooting appears to be a target and isolated attack. So it doesn't look like they know that what the motivation was on, at least at the time. Wow. But yeah, looking at like 2018, you have 1, 2 in 2018. None. There was injuries in 2017, but no deaths at least recorded here. 3 deaths in 2016, 1 in 2013, 2 in 2012. So yeah, wow.
That's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. I mean, so let's move on. Let's get a little. What's your?
Yeah,
I can give you my light one. A guy
Yeah.
came for our Black Friday sale not to buy stuff, but to sue us. He intentionally spilled food on the floor and walked back over to slip on it. He gave himself a concussion and started throwing up. He tried to
That's
sue
what I
until
just read.
we showed. Oh my God, you just read that? I didn't
I
realize
just
until
read that one.
You know what's funny? I didn't realize until I got to the part where it said until
the cameras?
yeah, and then it clicked. Wow, can you tell that I've had a long day? Okay, well,
Yeah,
I
you're
just ruined this
Tamaguchi.
podcast. I ruined this podcast forever, and I apologize. So,
I got one more.
yeah,
I can
please.
I can figure
slap
this
me
out.
in the face. You deserve to punch me because clearly I was not listening as well as I should have. So,
Last story for me. This is a good one.
yes.
I work in a grocery store. One lady screamed at me about the price of beets.
Like just about the price.
The price of beets.
It's not their job though. She's not like in charge of the price.
I worked at a grocery store for like 10 years. I had a lady hit me over the head with an ear of corn once. So
Oh
that
my
wasn't even that was just a
God.
regular day. Just a
Dude,
regular
I would
old day.
take those kind of people to court. Like I'm not even messing around. Like I have grudges.
We had to take the candy section out because people stole it too much. There was that too.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
The poor like Augustus Gloop kids who wanted candy can't get candy.
Dude, people stole those what are those caramel ones with the white filling in the middle?
The caramel, the cow chews, the
Yeah,
yeah,
those
yeah.
cowtails.
Cowtails.
People stole those like none other, man.
Oh man, I don't even know where you can get those. Where can you get those cowtails?
Grocery stores. They
I
stole them
haven't
from
seen
us.
any of those in years.
You got to get them in bulk, like those bulk candy stores. That's where you find those things.
Seriously. Oh my God, now I kind of want, and they had the flavors. I remember they had the flavors. Do you remember that?
Mhm. Yeah. Hey, I got some news.
Oh yeah, tell me.
I turned 31 tomorrow. I just wanted to let you know.
Oh, happy birthday. Let's all sing, everyone. Happy birthday.
Please don't.
To
Please
you. For your birthday, I'm gonna get you some strawberry smoothie cow chews. How about that?
That sounds good. You know, one of my friends showed me a video from a couple years ago. It
Mhm.
was, I think I was turning 27 or so,
Mhm.
and we went to a bar over in Berea.
Okay.
And sitting next to my wife at the time, and I was totally hammered.
Mhm.
It was great, hilarious, good time. This
Mhm.
lady who was probably in her 40s, I'd say,
Mhm.
doing karaoke,
Mhm.
heard someone say that was my birthday and proceeded to sit in my lap and sing me happy birthday. And it was the most
Oh God.
unusual thing I've ever seen in
She
my
was
life.
like, he needs a lap dance with a happy birthday. And it's like, no,
That's basically
ma'am.
what it was.
No, ma'am, he does not. He is good.
And with my wife sitting right next to me, who thought it was
Oh.
absolutely hilarious.
poor, I was gonna say poor Katie, but it looks like she
she was-
enjoyed it.
She was losing her mind. She thought it was the funniest thing she's ever seen in her life.
All right.
And it was. It was interesting.
Well, hey, if you find any good Black Friday deals, you'll have to let me know because I might be in
it's
the
all
market.
about that Cyber Monday. AirPods. I need AirPods. I need to be bougie.
Oh my
like
God.
these kids.
The AirPods, I'm telling you, once you go AirPods, you can't go back. It's
No.
such
Okay,
a-
listen. I was always like, they're the stupidest thing ever. Stupidest thing ever. So my wife had to get a new computer. She got a Mac, and
And
they
you got
came
the
with a
free
pair
ones?
of
Yeah.
came with a pair of AirPods. I tried them once. I was like, damn it, I'm hooked. I gotta get these things, man.
I'm telling you, not having that cord, it is a nice time. It's a
They're
blessing.
different. They're just different than the corded ones. They feel different. I don't know what it is.
It's like
So they got me.
lighters.
I hate you, Apple. Honestly, I hate Apple so much. I really do.
I like how it's like, I'm not saying you're this, but like, I hate Apple. I say to my Apple Mac top and my Apple phone next to me. And my
I
Apple-
am not talking on anything Apple at the moment. Zero things Apple.
Oh
I have
my
a PC,
God.
damn it.
Tim, what's his name who runs the company right now? Tim Cook. He's probably just
Tim
like-
Apple.
No, Tim Cook runs it. I think it's
Oh,
okay.
his name was Tim
I think
Apple.
you can tell that we're totally like losing because like the stream of consciousness is real. Also, I did not listen to you, and I apologize. So,
Yeah, figures.
What a night.
All right. I'm done.
All right. Peace out.
Later.